Turning to sports now. Retired Hall of Fame LA Dodgers broadcaster, Mr. Vin Scully. We love him. He's one of the most iconic figures in baseball history. And over his 67-year career, he's acquired this spectacular collection of baseball memorabilia.
That's right. On September 23rd, Hunt Auctions will showcase over 300 pieces from Vin Scully's private collection, including championship rings, trophies, scorebooks, and so much more.
And so much more. So we are happy to welcome Dave Hunt, President and CEO of Hunt Auctions. He's hanging out in our Sportsnet LA studio with a sneak peek of some of this memorabilia. Thank you, Dave, for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here. Great to be here.
Oh, I'm telling you, Dodger fans are going to go crazy. Talk about what this collection up for auction actually means to Dodger fans. Like, how significant is this?
It is so hard to put into words what Vin Scully means to Dodger fans and really the city of Los Angeles and baseball fans in general. Certainly your viewers don't need to be told this, but his tenure, the eras in which he broadcast from the 50s all the way into the 2000s, it bridged so many different generations and so many different fans, players, managers, you name it. And it gives really almost a history of its own to these objects because it really takes you back to different times in his career and what they meant to certain people that obviously are now going to possibly be interested in some of the items.
How fun.
Oh, yeah. So this auction was supposed to take place as part of All-Star Weekend in July, but of course, in the midst of the pandemic, it's moved online. So tell us about some of the items. I was looking through this book, this auction item guide, everybody's fantastic. Some really great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the rest of the world, we were affected by all the things going on right now with COVID, and we were so excited to be able to do it at the All-Star Game this year in Los Angeles, which has, been postponed. But in talking to Vin and really, deciding to move forward, we're so glad that we did. I mean, so many fans have reached out to us and said, we're very happy that you did this because there's so little going on, in the world now. It's opened up a bit since we started the process, but they're really excited about it. So to have this happening in the midst of obviously the baseball season with the Dodgers doing well, it really worked out beautifully. And as far as items,
I wanted to ask you about that because we see a lot of bobbleheads and we see pictures and what's tell us what you got. Show us what you got.
Well, we brought obviously some different highlight pieces. You can start with the rings. Obviously, championship rings are coveted by collectors from anybody related to a championship team. But when you have a ring that comes from Vin Scully that relates to a Dodgers championship team, pretty special. So we've got two that sort of bridge his tenure. We've got his 1955 Brooklyn Dodgers World Series ring, which was given to him later. He didn't get one in the period, but the team gave him one at a later date. So that's a really special piece because the only time that Brooklyn won the World Championship as a Dodgers franchise, before they came out to LA, of course. And then it bridges all the way to 2017, where this is his NL championship ring. So anytime you get a personal award like that somebody couldn't just collect, you had to be a member of the franchise in some capacity, it really brings quite a premium. And again, especially when you've got somebody with Vin Scully's tenure and meaning to the club, for sure.
No doubt about it. And I see the CBS radio, that OG microphone, and that picture of President Obama and Vice President Biden. So which item do you think is going to get the highest bid?
The rings?
That's a great question. Rings obviously will bring tens of thousands in many cases. But it's really interesting when you get a collection like Vin Scully's that has so much different important sort of periods to it, almost has a life of its own. You can have something more traditional like a ring bring a lot of money, or you can have something like a scorebook. We've got something down in front here that's really kind of a fascinating piece. This is Vin's actual scorebook that he used during his final season in 2016. So if you are a Dodgers fan and you're talking about history, I mean, this is literally
his
written history where
is in there, right? That's spectacular.
Absolutely. He scored every one of them. And I think what's so special about this piece is if you go to the final game, which he obviously scored, it really tells you who Vin's all about. He wasn't thinking about what celebration's going to happen after the game with my final broadcast or what am I going to do. He's scoring the game right to the last pitch, right to the last out.
To the last second, right?
He was in the game. Absolutely. So something like that truly is unique. And you could have it bring, 5,000 or 6,000, you could argue it's worth multiples of that, because it really is worth what the market will bear and what these pieces mean to people. And that's really what determines pricing in an auction like this.
So I was asking you where the proceeds are going to go, right? And you said Vince has 16 grandkids? Wow.
Yeah, he is blessed with a wonderful family, and Vince mentioned publicly that he wants to, donate some of the proceeds or give some of the proceeds to his grandchildren's college funds. He's also going to use part of the proceeds to UCLA neuromuscular research. But this was a process for him, and it's something we were very honored to be, selected to be involved with.
This is
and as
personal.
much a telling, yeah, it is, and suggesting what Vin and his family should keep, which of course they kept many, many things, like his Medal of Freedom, other pieces from other presidents and things. And when you're Vin Scully and you've got a 67-year career, you are blessed with an enormous amount of material, so you can actually offer some things to your fans and the public, do some good for your family and some charities, and yet retain a lot of items so they have things as well. But we've done this for 30 years, and we've been really honored to be working with a lot of families, Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, you name it. And this one is really, truly unique. There's just,
it's touched me to see. Too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's touched us to see how much this has meant to people as they've contacted us saying, thank you, I can't wait to bid, I'm so excited. And it's really a testament all to Vin, nothing to do with us or really even the market. Should be really exciting.
And giving people, I think, something to look forward to and a little bit of hope during this really challenging time that we're all going through.
Yeah, there's no question. In our business as a whole, we were nervous like the rest of the world back in March of what was going to happen, especially being based on the East Coast. And it's been absolutely amazing how strong our industry has remained. And I think you touched on it. It's something that takes people back to something that made them happy, something simple that wasn't affected by COVID. They remember a baseball game or a team or something that they're missing. And you're seeing it almost a resurgence in sort of those memories or those nostalgic pieces, and that it just couldn't be a better tie into somebody like Vin Scully to bring some joy to people during some pretty tough times.
It's almost kind of like bringing us home in a way.
No doubt about it.
He brings such comfort, and we've grown up with him.
I mean, nearly 70 years. He was the voice, right, for so many of us, and he was that nostalgic, comforting voice.
He still is, and now we get, what a privilege to be able to have a little part of him with us. I hope the auction is uber successful. I can tell it's meaningful to you as well. You're probably a big baseball Dodger fan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, thank you for having us.
No, thank you for
Dave.
sharing
Great to have you with
giving
us.
us a sneak preview. We're so honored. The auction will take place on September 23rd at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
That's right. You can visit huntauction.com to preview Vin Scully's marvelous collection of all this amazing, extraordinary memorabilia. We'll be right back.
I want the jacket. Forget the rings. I want the jacket.
All about that look.
I do want that jacket.